Hello, this is Jamie Magritte. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. This video is going to be a 3-for-1 video. I'm going to start with a simple card, go to a casual card, and then to an avid card, all using the same basic supplies. I'm going to start and use Rustic Retreat. I'm going to use this stamp from Campology. And I may or may not use this sentiment, thinking of you. I have a part of a sprig cut from this die, Christmas layers dies, and then I'm going to be using this die here from Forever Flourish dies on 2 of the cards. I'm going to be using this paper, In Good Taste, Designer Series paper. It's got the wood grains and all the textures. And on all of the cards, I'm going to start with white card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. A piece of Sahara sand, which is 4 1/4 by 5.5. A piece of the Designer Series paper, which is 3 by 5 1/4. And a piece of the In Color Designer Series paper 6 by 6. This is a cinnamon cider, which is 3/4 of an inch, and then I'm going to flag it. This is 4 1/4, but okay. And Memento, and just jade ink. On the Avid one, I'm going to bring in a few blends. Okay, so let's get started. First thing I'm going to do, turn this way. I'm going to stamp on this. I'm going to be using this sprig, and that is from the Rustic Retreat here. And we're going to use just jade ink. And I'm going to stamp on this side of it, the whole, I'm just going to do the I don't know what you call it, just stamping here and there. Not quite sure what that was. Something just fell on the floor. Almost done here, a little bit more. Okay, so that's all of that. I'm done with the green ink for this one. Okay, then we're going to bring in this piece. This is going to go here. And we're going to bring in the Memento. I'm going to start with the sentiment, thinking of you. I'm going to put that down here at the bottom on this corner. Down here. Perfect, okay. And I'm going to come in with my trees. This is quite a large one, so I think I'm going to do it this way. Sure, it's inked up really well. I'm going to stamp the trees up here. giving it a good push all over the back so I don't miss any spots. Perfect. Okay. Now we're going to come in with our scissors, or I'm going to actually use this punch because it just makes it a little easier. I come in and I'm going to flag one end. Okay, so let's mount this piece onto here. I'll go ahead and use my seal. This is going to have about 1/8 of an inch border on 3 sides. So line up this side in the top and the bottom. Set it down. Now we're going to put some seal on the back of this piece. Line it up where we want it. Above the sentiment there. Oops, come on, don't stick yet. Okay, then I'm going to turn it over and trim off that little bit of extra. And then this is going to get mounted to the front of our card. Stand it up and see if I can get it better that way. There we go, there's our first card. Clean and simple. Okay, so that's the first card. Now we're going to, for the second card, I'm going to start with the same basic pieces. The card base, the Sahara sand piece, we're going to stamp the same way. It has the same piece of designer series paper, both of them. And we're going to add a punch. We're going to use the 2 1/4 inch circle punch. And we're going to add that die cut leaf. And this is Mossy Meadow. Okay. So first things first, let's stamp the Just Jade, just like we did on the first one. I think that's enough. Okay. Stamp this one the same way. And try to get the trees a little bit higher, I think. Oops, what am I doing? Oh, probably just got black ink in my green, but close that up. Actually, it might be pretty stamped in green instead of black, but trees. Very nice. A sentiment. Oh, I'm batting 1,000. That's not the sentiment. This is the sentiment. And it goes down here. Okay. That circle. I'm going to stamp this deer on. And this is also from Rustic Retreat. Awesome. Okay, now we'll put our card together. Mount this to the front of the card. Alright, I'll add this. I'm going to use the wet glue because I like the wiggle room it gives me. Except I haven't opened it yet today, so. It's going to be all the same as the first card. Show you the scissor way to make the flag. What did I do with my scissors just now? I don't know. Well, let's get out a different pair since oh, there they are. I knew I had them, I just had them. So I want this to be about this long, so I'm going to snip it there. Then I'm going to come in the center and snip a little snip. Then I'll come from the corner to the end of that snip that I just made in the center. And then from the other side. Okay. This will get put right on the front. Same as before. Okay, we're going to put dimensional on the back of this. This is going to go over here. It's going to hang off the end just a little bit. Hang off the banner part. Just a little bit of this banner is going to hang off. And we're going to add this right there. So I'm just adding the glue on the part that's going to go on top of the circle. down just a little bit. There we go. Okay, there's card number 2. So here's the simple stamping. Here's the casual stamper. We've added a couple die cuts. Okay. Now we're going to go to the avid stamper. Okay, the pieces for the avid stamper: your card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. The same 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch pieces Sahara sand. The same 3 inch by 4 or 5 1/4 inch piece of the designer series paper. The same 3/4 inch strip of the 6 by 6 in color designer series paper. We're going to use that circle punch again. The same die cut we used in the casual stamper. Now we're adding a piece of gold foil that was cut from that sprig, and 2 pieces of brushed gold paper that we flagged the ends. These are just like 3/8 of an inch. They're just little scraps, and a bow. So let's get started. Move all the pieces to the side so I don't lose them or misplace them. Alright, so, and we're going to bring in the blends. Let's start by, well, let's start the same way we did. We will do the green first. Just Jade. I'll wipe this off since. Alright. Don't think I need any there, but I'll put some there just to be safe. I think I'm good. Alright, there's that. Done with this color today. I'll bring in the memento. Stamp the deer. Aside for a moment. Bring in this piece. Stamp those trees. Stamp the sentiment. Sentiment stamped so nicely. Okay. Now up to this point we're going to do exactly like we did on the first card. Eighth of an inch border all the way around. it's just easier. Punch that, flag that end. That's a little crooked. Let's straighten it up. That's better. Okay, let's go ahead and put this down. Notice I've got a little bit of a longer tail. Not a lot, just a little. Okay. We can go ahead and mount this to the front of the card. Okay, that aside a minute, let's bring in our little deer. And for blends, I have the ivory, I have light granny apple green, I have dark mint macaron, light seafoam, and then I have the soft suede combo. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the ivory, and I'm going to use the little tip. In these places where, you know, like under the deer's neck, and his belly, and the underside of his tail, and there's a couple spots like under his legs where it's going to be lighter, I use the ivory. I'm going to do his antennas this time with the ivory. Okay, then I took the dark soft suede, and on the top of his back, and where these definite lines are going down his back, I did the dark a little bit on top of his ears and top of his head, a little bit underneath his legs and his hooves. Okay, then I came in with the light and I colored in the rest of him. You might want to use a small tip because it's kind of tiny, but I like the blending I get, or the ability I get with the little one better, or the big one. I like the brush. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, then I came in with light soft seafoam, and I did these leaves under here. It's grass. Just showing you what I did. It was a little bit too light. Then I came in with the mint macaron, and I did a little bit more. There's one marker missing I gotta find. Hold on, because I need the blue one too. Added a little more of this color, and then I came in, wanted a little bit more green to some of these, so I came in with this granny apple and just put a little touch of granny apple on some of these other leaves. Okay, then there was one that I don't have. It must be one that fell. I'm not sure. Well, I'll use this one. Light pool party. And I just went around the edge. Just did a little coloring around the edge of him. Don't be afraid to turn your work. I have better control coloring this way than I do in towards the work. So okay, so that's the coloring. Put our dimensionals on the back of this. And bring our card back in. This is going to go over here. Let's do it about here, I guess. I'm going to bring in these pieces. Again, we're going to add this the same way we did on the casual one. Glue on the pieces that are going to attach to the circle. I'm bringing these in, it just makes it easier. Put it where I want it. Stick it down. Okay. On this piece, I'm going to bring in a glue dot. I'm going to roll up that glue dot. I want to put it down here at the bottom. But I don't want it to be sticking out, so because this is lower than that, so I'm going to put it down here on the part that's lower, and this top part's not going to be stuck down. I'm going to another glue dot, and I'm going to roll it up. Get my little bow that I made. Linen thread, or this is one strand of burlap twine. That goes there. These pieces, glue on the back. One goes down here. And one goes up here. There we go, there's our avid. Casual and simple. Oh, let's add a little bit of bling on this one. So I'm going to bring in those holiday rhinestones. I'm going to put a bigger one here in the center, and then two smaller ones on either side of it. It just kind of finishes it off nicely. There we go. Well, thank you for joining me at Jamie's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper. And I hope you can find one of these styles that suits you, and you can give it a try. Well, thanks. Have a great day.